Well, any other quick, funny stories you'd like to throw in there?
Well, relationships have their peaks and valleys.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Not that one.
Do we have time for that one? That's a
We
long
can
one.
make it quick.
I feel like this one, like, needs... You need to know us before you hear this story, because it's a personal one.
It
that
is.
we don't tell to a lot of people unless you know us really well.
Or if it's the podcast, I guess. So as I said, relationships have lots of peaks and valleys.
Oh boy.
And
Here we go.
incidentally, one of our highest peaks was also one of our lowest valleys.
It really was. Lowest of the low moments.
Yeah. We went, we don't get to take a lot of vacations. Trying to change that now. And one of our rare vacations was for our anniversary trip. And it was back in 2019. Yep, right? That was 2019.
The year me and Mikola got married?
Yeah, I think
Possibly.
so.
Yes.
We decided, because we both think Colorado is pretty neat, we decided we were going to go to Colorado.
I think I know what story this is.
And I only had 3 days off. And so we were going to go over the weekend, and it was going to be drive there real quick, hang out
Over
in Denver.
4th of July.
Hang out in Denver over 4th of July.
Seems like a good idea.
I know.
13-hour drive.
Hang out in Denver, and then hang out in Aspen, and then drive home. And so we went. And I had been really stressed out that year. And it was kind of popping up in some weird ways, just fun little surprises throughout my life. And so we drove. We narrowly missed like 4 F4 tornadoes while we were there. You remember driving there? We saw...
In Wyoming.
Yeah, I know. Like on our
I don't know
trip
if they
there.
were F4s.
They were pretty dangerous ones. We were passing Chugwater, Wyoming.
Yeah, it was
And we saw
Chugwater.
Reed Timmer's truck.
Reed Timmer.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's a weather guy who chases tornadoes. He's pretty cool.
I wonder what he drew. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, that was
like
pretty much it.
they were going the opposite way as us.
Reed Timmer's truck. That's super cool. I can't believe we got to see this. Yeah. Wait, why would he be out here in the middle of the Midwest? Oh. Yeah, so like we just kept missing tornado after
Dominator.
tornado after tornado. Real bad weather. We got to the hotel in Denver and missed the fireworks show that we were going to watch because I had a panic attack. And then, so that was one of the fun little ways that stress popped up. And then, like, we went to Red Rocks. That was pretty cool the next day.
It
Check
rocked.
that out. It did rock. And then we stayed at the hotel again. And then the next day, we went and drove to Aspen. Now...
No, we went to...
that's right.
Rocky Mountain
We
National
went to Rocky Mountain
Park.
National Park before we went to Aspen. That's what it was.
Yep.
And over the 4th of July weekend, things are busy. People
Very
be
busy.
seeing things. And so we wound
Going
up
places.
in stop-and-go traffic up
At
this
Estes
mountain.
Park.
At Estes Park, yep. And when I say stop and go, it was like 5 parts stop, 1 part go. So you'd be just in this line of cars up a one-way road, just like stopped for 20 minutes at a time.
We saw the Stanley Hotel.
Yep, that was cool. Well, the problem was with the sudden elevation change mixed with my stress, I had this weird symptom I've never had before where I had to pee every 5 minutes, it seemed.
I'm starting to see a situation from like 2 weeks' notice. Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, it was similar. It was real similar. And so at the bottom of the mountain, it wasn't that bad. But as we kept going up, it kept getting like more and more painful and more like, I cannot hold this. What do we do?
Air pressure.
Huge line of people. So if I get out and pee on the side of the road, everyone's watching that, right? And so we're just like looking for any little rest stop or anything like that. And I remember about halfway up the mountain, we found a pie place. And I was like, we got to stop. I got to run in there. And there was a sign that specifically said you can't use the bathroom unless you buy a pie. Now, I thought that meant that if I was going to try to use the bathroom, I would be barred from the use of the bathroom. So I went to get in line for pie first. So I'm standing there dying. And there's like probably 10 people ahead of me in line buying pies, all to use the bathroom as well, because they're all just as big idiots as me. And so they're like waiting for their pie, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna like order the pie and pay for it and then leave it out and then go to the bathroom. So I gotta wait for the pie. So I waited like another 20 minutes to get the pie. And then at this point, like, I could have peed through my nostrils, and it would have, like, I felt full.
That would have been less than appropriate.
It would have been really painful, though, and probably smelled horrible. But, yeah, so I took my pie, sealed, into the bathroom, and I didn't even like the pies that they had. I bought it for Hannah. It was cherry pie.
Oh, it was the best pie I've ever had.
It was one of the best bathroom breaks I ever had. And then
That was a good
we
bathroom
left that place and started making our way up towards the top of the mountain. And the mountains out there, the Rockies, don't have trees up top. So that's one thing.
I wonder why.
The other thing is that all those cars, those lines of cars, are still up there. We happened to find a parking spot on like the scenic overlook area. And Hannah wants to take all these pictures. And every time that I move, I can feel it sloshing. I can just feel the pressure.
Like this picture right here.
That was right before disaster. Yep, that picture was taken moments before.
disaster.
So I'm in pain, which you can see if you look into my eyes in that picture. And Hannah's like, "This is the best." I'm
It's
like,
so
"Okay."
beautiful.
And I'm like, Hannah, we gotta find a rest area again. And she's like, well, the rest area is gonna be like 15 minutes that way, and I don't think we're gonna be able to park. And I'm like, oh, geez, I don't think I'm going to make it. We're walking, and I happen to notice that there's nobody around.
Yeah, as you can see in the picture.
It's barren up there. Okay?
There's nobody around.
There's nobody around at that moment, and I was just like, you know what? This is my make or break. You know? This is my, you know, in the greatest game ever played when he takes that one really risky shot?
Yeah. I'm feeling that way about this podcast right now.
That was gonna be my greatest game ever played. And I just went, Hannah, keep an eye. And she's like, what? And I dropped trow and I went for it. And let me tell you, on top of a mountain, you feel like a hero up there. You're just like, this is the lights shining, the angels are singing.
Camera angles going by, just like you looking epically off into the distance.
It's like those shots in the Fellowship of the Ring when they're like on their way to the Mines of Moria before they decide to go up. Yeah. Yep. Just heroic shots of me peeing. And I'm like, finally. And all of a sudden,
Sweet relief.
I hear Hannah screaming at the top of her lungs. And I'm like, what? And I look over, and she is... I'm so sorry. So the way the wind works up on top of a mountain, it can be unpredictable. And it was... I wasn't peeing off a cliff or anything.
Why?
But the wind was catching it. And it was doing a perfect U shape right around me. Right past my shoulder. And I'm looking at the stream. And I look back, and it's connecting with a target, and it was connecting with this target right here. And it was we learned about each other that day.
Yeah, never thought in that way.
Yeah, and I think it strengthened our bond.
You're in this together with me.
Yes, indeed. And
That'll be the title of this short clip. You're in this together.
The clickbait on YouTube. I peed on my wife.
and Hannah will be like, the thumbnail game. And so,
Oh no.
in that way,
Don't use that.
We're
family friendly. At this point,
in
we gotta put like an R rating on this thing.
in that
No, P rating still works.
it still works.
The whole episode
In
leading up to this moment.
in that way, I think it is highly appropriate that you live in the big house and we live in the outhouse. For full circle.
Mic drop.
Just like the pee around my shoulder.
And on that note,
Nice knowing you.
thank you, Drew and Hannah, for taking the time to sit down with me to record this episode of Welcome to the Medins. Word of advice to anyone who travels:
Go before you leave.
go before you leave, or you notice Drew just going up. Don't follow.
Don't be his wingman. Don't spot for him.
Don't be the wind beneath my wings.
Ah.
No.
But if you would like,
I said but.
Oh no. Oh boy. Yeah, you can tell it's getting late.
if you would like to be able to hear more funny stories like this, I would encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube page at Welcome to the Medins and press the little bell so that way you get notified when we upload a new video. Like our page on Facebook, Welcome to the Medins. Follow us on Instagram and keep up with some of the fun little adventures that I guess our family has on their little outings.
You know what we should do for like viewer mail? We should get a P.O. box.
No.
It is getting late. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you for your patience.
What is that joke?
I don't know. I was trying to contribute and it didn't really work out
No, it
too
worked
well.
perfectly. It was great.
Welcome to Medins, here at the outhouse with Drew and Hannah Medin. We look forward to seeing you next time when we meet Catherine and Tyler Lexbold. See you in 2 weeks.